Right, so again, so content, interaction, static dynamic. There's something about the syntax itself. What's the main thing here? How do we write HTML? Tags, right? So we have tags here. But JavaScript, var, function. We don't know anything about functions yet, but we'll learn today. Okay, so it's like big syntax, right? Var, if. We learned yesterday if. What else we learned yesterday? Else. Good. If and else. And else means? What does else mean? Otherwise. Good. Good, 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 good. We're following. We're following. Amazing. Okay. Greeting. Okay, that's the thing that's called greeting. What do we call it?
Say that.
So we used greeting yesterday. But in JavaScript, what's the name of the things like a greeting? Value. So there is a value, but there is a variable. And the way we do it is we put var and then the variable name here. And then what do you put between the variable name and the value? Equal sign, and what do you put after the value? Semicolon. Good. So the greeting was here, right? And the var was here. Equal. And what was the value? It was different, right? But for example, good morning. Okay, again, var, variable name, equal the value. Or, there's a different way. We did this in a different way, right? We divided this into two parts. No, defining the variables. Defining the variables, we first defined the variable and then we did something else. So instead of one sentence, like one statement like this, we did it into two parts.
Yes.
How?
First, we identified the variable like var greeting.
We defined the variable. Okay.
Then we start the other part, which is the variable equal maybe something.
Good. Variable name equal a value.
Conditional.
So, speaking of naming, vocabulary, what do we call this thing? You said it, you just said it. What did we do here? Define. So this is we defined. And what did we do here? Put a value in a variable. And what do we call this in programming? Close.
Output.
We assigned a value to a variable. Get familiar with these because they are important. Assigned. So we defined a variable and here we assigned a value to a variable. Okay. Is that all about variables? Okay, what else we learned about JavaScript? Conditions. Conditions. Why do we need conditions? To make a decision. And what do we use to do these conditions and make decisions? In JavaScript. Coffee? Did you drink coffee today? Not really? Okay.
Again, please.
So to make these conditions and to make the decisions, what do we use in JavaScript? So JavaScript code, if. So we said we use if. This is a very important keyword. We call it a keyword in JavaScript. Okay, it's part of the JavaScript language. If statement, or we call it if keyword here. So can anyone give me example where we need to check something and then we make a decision depending on it? Just think of any problem, anything in life. What is it? Average of marks. Okay, that's a good one.
Or we can make a website for engineering. So the question will be, if the answer will be engineer, what's your, okay, it will be like, what's your job?
Mm-hmm.
If it was engineer, then the value will be to open the website from.
Okay.
Or right looking.
Nice. So these are two good. There's a question you asked yourself this morning before you come to here. What do you?
This would count as an example. If you are above 18 years,
You can sign up. Otherwise, you cannot. Good. What did you ask yourself this morning before you come to here? So when you woke up, you washed your face or you took a shower, and then you decided to come to here. What I will hear, what I will wear, right? And how did you make your decision? Depending on what? Depending on what you have, that's a good thing. And
your mood.
your mood.
Yeah.
If my mood is okay, I will wear red. If not, I will wear black. Okay. Okay. What else? The weather. If the weather is cold, I will wear something heavy. If not, I will wear something like light. Right? So you make these decisions every day. Your brain makes them every day. Right? You do this like on daily basis. Sometimes, like if I'm hungry, I'll go eat. If I'm not, I'll drink coffee. So you make them, but without saying them. But our brains are amazing, so they make these decisions like without even saying them. So let's talk about, for example, the what to wear. So can anyone tell me this? Let's write a quick code for like what to wear today. How about if we write it in English first and then we convert it to JavaScript? Do you like this? Okay, say it in English. If it's cold, I will wear heavy jacket. Okay. If not,
Shirt?
I will not wear.
T-shirt. No, you can't go without wearing anything. So, okay. Good. Okay. JavaScript. So the main thing we know we have an if here, right? at some point, but we don't know what's before, what's after. Okay. You can start from here and then go back and do stuff, or you can do the stuff and then go to the if.
Step by step variable.
You want to start with a variable. Okay. Where, okay, which is gonna be what to where, right? Then what? Tell me what to do. What's after that? Bar where, semicolon. Okay. Then
You need to define
where equal. Oh, that's you mean the question.
Yes.
No, but we're not gonna ask questions. Like it's okay. Awesome. Okay, prompt. Let's do it this way. Your way. Prompt is
If
how was the weather?
how is the weather?
cold, press 1.
Okay.
If we're
Where
Equal, cold,
equal cold. Cold is like this, or you need to make it like a text. Quotation marks, good. Because this is a text. You learn this about this a lot in the future, but okay. What to do here?
the value will
How do I write it? Where? What should I do next? Curly brace. Good.
greeting,
Into quotation where
No, can write any word.
So we need to
jacket.
do something, right?
If it was cold, I will wear heavy jacket.
I need
so it will
to define another word, right?
We need to define another one. Var.
No,
Is that what to wear, or is that the question?
yeah.
Wear. So where is what to wear or the question? So you're asking a question here, right?
Yeah.
So what should we call this? Variable.
temperature.
It should be the weather, it's not where, right? So this is the weather itself. And var where, and here what do we say? Where equal
Heavy jacket.
heavy jacket.
But the other wear, it's weather, not if weather.
If weather, yes. Then what should I do after this semicolon?
Else,
Else.
wear equal t-shirt.
Good.
T-shirt.
Quotation marks.
Semicolon.
Curly braces where?
Forest.
Here. Before else, close. Here. Open here. Close. Done. That's all JavaScript code we need to write. That's awesome. That's all what we learned yesterday, right? And the way you add this to HTML now, this is another part which is like if you want to add these things to the HTML, you can do documented right or whatever you want to add to it. Right? Take a look. Ask me questions, please. What questions you have? Yes, Ahmad.
activate this JavaScript. What should I add in HTML?
Good. So can you say this again louder, Muhammad? Because
To
Mhm.
activate this JavaScript in my website. What should I add in HTML?
Good question. So his question is, if you want to activate this JavaScript code in my HTML, where should I put this code? Or what should I do in my HTML? So first of all, where should we put this code?
On the head.
So in the head, that's yes, one way to do it.
On the end of the body.
Or end of the body, that's another way to do it. Okay, very good questions. So here's my head. And here's my body. If I want to add it to the end of the body, what should I do here?
Add the script and the right? Add the script and the body.
Script tag.
Script tag here. Okay.
Source. This is the source.
Okay. I put a source.
The name of the file.
Equal name of file.
Between
Not only name of file.
the JS.
So it's the location and the name of the file. And like, okay. So, and we continue whatever like needed for the script. Can we put it inside head?
Yes.
We can, but which is better, here or here?
Under.
Head is like some stuff is good to be under head and some stuff no. For example, the CSS, it's a good idea to put the CSS inside header, but for body, maybe it's a good idea to put the JavaScript at the end. So very good. So you made a good point here. That's good. Also, what you can do is you can define a script tag. Very important. And write all of your JavaScript code here and then close the tag
Without
creating a file. Which way is better?
I think this
This one's better?
one.
Okay, so people say no. Why no? Why this way is better than this? The one in red is better than the black here. Why?
You spread
You separate the...
the script or the GS from the HTML.
Good. Very good. Yeah, so for
You can change every.
abstraction, so we separate the JavaScript code from the HTML code, so everyone has its own place. Very good. Yes. So this is the best practice. So always go this way. Did that answer your question? Good. Who else has a question? Questions. Love questions. All right. Okay. So that was a review for yesterday lecture, and now we're gonna talk about other stuff. So today we'll talk about something new. Maybe it's related to JavaScript. So it's related to JavaScript, but it's like other than only the if statements and other than defining variables. So we're doing something else today. So first of all, so we did this. What do we call this? So this is JavaScript code, and we call it programming. So we're trying to write code. That means we're trying to program something. Can you guys like put your computer like this and pay attention, please? All of you. Okay, very important because I want your help now. So we call this programming, and programming here is very important concept. when you're trying to build something, you are writing a program. That's how we call it. You are writing a program. You're doing some programming. And this is where you doing like, as you see here, we're doing some step, right? We're defining variables, we're asking for input, we're doing some conditional statements, we're asking like for if statements, if else statements, and then at the end we make a decision. We say, do this or do this or do this, assign this value or no, and then maybe add this value to the HTML. That's the flow of what we're doing. I want you to think of programming, which is something that you will start doing from now till maybe 20 years, 30 years, I'm not sure. Okay? Think about it as like you're trying to build something. And I can give you an example. So think about if you you're cooking something, you're making a cake. Let's say you're baking a cake. Okay, when I make a cake, what do you think we need to bake a cake? Eggs. Okay. Flour. Sugar. Milk. Oil. Very good. We need some tools. Yes. Mixer. Milk. Oven. Right? Your mom. Take it as a next challenge. Learn how to make a cake and make it for your mom. That would be a good idea. Okay, so in general, all what you said is what do we call all of that? Ingredients, right? And in order to take these ingredients and make them into cake, what do you need in the middle? Steps, which is the recipe, right? Very good. So we need the ingredients, we need a recipe, what to do, and what do we get at the end? A cake. Good. So that's also how programming works. You have you want to build an idea, so you have some input, okay, some tools and whatever ingredients, and then you have the recipe, which is the process itself, like what steps to follow, what to do step by step, and at the end you get the cake, which is the output. So input, processing, and the output. That's what programming is. It's exactly the same. So, and as a human, if I give you this recipe and I give you the ingredients, you will read it and say, "Oh, that's easy. What does it say? Add like half a cup of sugar. Add this amount of flour." So you just follow the steps as is if they are described accurately, and you will get a cake for sure at the end if you follow the steps accurately. And computers actually are very good at this. Like if you give the computer instructions exactly what to do, they will do exactly what you ask them to do. That's why programming is powerful, because computers, if you tell them exactly what to do, they don't make mistakes. They just do it as is. Okay? So we need, when we learn coding, we need to be able to give the computers the right instructions. Tell them exactly what to do. And actually, we're gonna do something fun now in order to train ourselves in giving these computers some good instructions. Imagine you are teaching a robot. You have a robot, and you're teaching a robot how to build or draw a house. Let's say, as an example, but let's say how to draw a house. So So I will be the robot, but after you write some instructions, okay? So every two of you pair together, and what are we gonna do is like write down exactly the instructions, okay? That imagine you are giving these instructions to the robot. They should be very detailed and very direct. Like make 2 steps in front, turn left, something like this. Exactly what to do. Not to walk, just to draw a house. Okay? Makes sense? So every two of you pair together, but before you talk about it, every one of you should write the steps on the side and then pair together and share your ideas and come up with one script, and then you want to give it to me. And this should take like 5 minutes, maybe? Okay, 5 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes. Let's do it now. Is that clear to everyone? Okay? Give the robot instructions to build a house. To draw a house, not build a house. To draw a house maybe here in the whiteboard. Okay? So imagine I'm the robot. I'm gonna follow your instructions to draw a house. Okay. Cool. Let's do it.
Without coding,
Just instructions in English. So your robot understands English. That's what's good about our robot, which is me. Understand English. Also, they do the instructions as is. So don't assume they'll understand more. No, they'll understand what exactly you tell them. Okay? That's it. Thank you. Yeah. We'll check on you in 5 minutes, see if you're done. So first of all, each one of you should write the instructions by themselves, without sharing, silently. So you write the instructions, Sharif, by yourself. You write the instructions. And then at the end you pair together to share the video. You want to add? And you write the instructions by yourself. And discuss it with him. I said it like you should write instructions by yourself, and she write the instruction, and then combine it together. You know why I'm doing this? Because you know how she thinks, what she comes with, and what you come with. And then when you put it together, you come with something good. You don't have it? Because you're not. It's okay. Yeah, you can. you're done, you can share with each other. Not sure if you're done, but maybe you need 5 more minutes. Okay, let's take 5 more minutes.
I also want to learn it how to draw on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only thing we need to do, to teach the robot how to draw a house. That's it. Steps to draw the house. All right, let's jump to. I already sent this. Let's jump to it. Let's draw a house. I'm your robot. Tell me what to do. Okay.
Select the area. Draw square.
I need one group first. So who wants to try first? You want to try first. If it doesn't work, we go to someone else, okay? Hold the pen.
Okay. Approach from the board. Approach from board. Okay. Start from the top of the board. Okay. Moving the pen carefully to draw equal triangle. Equal triangle.
Equal what?
Draw.
Triangle?
Yeah, equal triangle.
I don't understand what equal triangle is, but
Rotate it. Remove it. Remove it. No, rotate it.
okay.
From the bottom corners of triangle, moving the pen carefully to draw a square. Yeah. No.
That's what you said.
From the right bottom. Two corners.
That's the bottom corner.
Corners. Two corners.
Mm-hmm. Your instructions are not clear.
Why?
Okay, give me more instructions. I can't.
I see two corners.
Do you think robot understand this? Because they don't understand what that means. They understand instructions exactly what it is. Let's try another one.
In the wall, draw a square. big square. Draw two squares in the upper section of the big inside.
What?
Draw two squares.
That's complicated to me.
Draw two square small in the upper section of the big one. Side by side. In top of the big square, draw triangle. Not big one. Okay,
You did not tell me.
not problem.
Sneaky.
So now,
You did not tell me to delete this. Okay.
in the down section of the big square, draw in the middle straight. Straight line. The door, no.
From the bottom.
That's a straight line. Isn't it?
Yes.
Straight. Okay, fail. Who else? Nice try. Who else?
Next square, the area is 50.
I draw a square.
Area is 50.
Area is 50. How can I calculate the area?
What can do area?
I can do area. So area. I know area is 50. How? Okay, I want to start from here. What should I do?
Next
Can do. Okay. Let's assume it's a square.
in bottom make triangle. No, in bottom make in upper make a triangle. At bottom make two lines. Should be equal line.
So I make two lines and they should be equal.
The distance between
Mm-hmm. Should be equal.
should be 5 centimeters.
So that's 50, then 5 is like this. She said that, right? Because that's 50, that's 5. 10%. Very smart robot. That's close. That's close too. You mean this is the way? The walkway? What is this?
I understood that. The door only.
Is that the door?
No.
Oh, you mean this door, right? Okay. Seems like we need to practice, right? It's easy for the robot to follow instructions,
It's not clear instruction.
but it should be very clear instructions, step by step. Here you can say, if you look at this JavaScript code, you can easily say, check the weather if it's cold, wear this, if it's not, wear t-shirt. But that doesn't work with JavaScript. You need to exactly define a variable, ask for inputs, define another variable. If the input is this, do this, else do that. So very clear instructions. That's why, programming is not an easy job to do. It's like you need to be very clear about like what instructions to give. But at the same time, it's awesome. Like robots or computers do exactly what you ask them to do. So make sure, like when you write code, like you write very clear code and tell the computers exactly what to do. That was the core idea behind the programming. It's just like following instructions, and this is like even when the two examples we took, the recipe and drawing this, like we had input. What was the input? The input was your instructions, and processing was my drawing, and this is the output. Do you think the input was like the idea or the thing we wanted to build is the same as the result? It's different, right? Because the processing itself was not clear. So you need to have very clear input, very clear, okay, a very clear processing here, and very clear output. So to get like the output you are expecting to get. That's all about it for today. We're gonna jump to reading now, and in reading you will discover more, and then I will give you a demo after about the reading, and then in the reading we'll learn about something cool. We'll learn about the power of step-by-step actions. We'll see what it's a discussion assignment, so we're gonna like read more about and step-by-step actions, how to follow steps to do something like useful. This is the reading. I'm gonna open it here actually. Canvas. Yes, read 07. Ta-da-da. Courses. I think this is my course here. 102. D4. It's Wednesday. Yay. Read 7. Programming with JavaScript. So, from docket script pages 1 to 24, focus strictly on the selected pages. Don't let the surrounding sections distract you. Very important, because JavaScript is big and you will discuss a lot. We'll learn a lot in the 201 course later on. But just focus on what you have here. Just read them. You don't have to implement anything. Just read them here, and then you share your learning in the as we do every day in the learning journal. Okay, and that's all what you need to do. And then we'll do a demo about how to put all of these steps and name them something, like make a cake. So when I tell you go make a cake, I don't tell you exactly what to do. You just go make a cake, right? Because you already know how to make a cake. But if you don't know how to make a cake, I should give you this step by step. Do this, do that. Get this buy this from the market, and buy this, and then come home and do this, and do this, and mix them. Then put them in the oven and go back. But if I tell you, make us a cake, that's enough, right? If you're familiar with how to make a cake. And that's called a function. Learn this after you're done with your reading. Thank you. Have fun. 40 minutes. I guess it's 10 now. We stop at 10:40. Let's do it 10:45. 10:45. Please focus on this and don't work on your labs. On the old labs. Focus on reading, because it's very important for this lecture. Okay? Have fun.